Hello. So I, as you can see, don't have any fancy tech stuff. I don't have cool music. Maybe I should get some cool music and record and that kind of thing. But I am LuLaRoe SaraLyn, my handy dandy post-it note that makes me very official. And I am a LuLaRoe consultant. I am making these YouTube videos for my QBs and girls in training in order for them to set up and become a LuLaRoe consultant. So I'm putting it on YouTube because I thought it might be helpful for a few girls who may not have this information or want to think about it. I don't have a lot of how-tos, but I do have some thinking about it and why, and just some basic knowledge other than here's what you do, that kind of thing. So how-tos, look somewhere else, but if you're just trying to work through a few things you can do while you wait to onboard in LuLaRoe, I can help you. So I'm LuLaRoe SaraLyn. Thank you for joining me, and I want to give a big shout out to my team and all of my girls that I'm doing this for. So today I wanted to talk about your business email. It is really important to set up a business email account. A lot of people have a personal account. Sometimes they have a shared account with their spouse or significant other. Sometimes that this becomes really, really clouded. And so you don't want to have a bunch of personal emails kind of wrapped up in your business emails, that kind of thing. So it is really awesome to set up a separate business account. You can choose whichever provider that you're familiar with, whether you've been doing Gmail, whether you've been doing Yahoo or SBC, that kind of thing, global or whatever. Go with what's familiar with you, I would say at first. If you have the opportunity to change something in Gmail is helpful because a lot of teams do Google Meetups or do things on Google and share Google Calendars, those kinds of things. So if you can make the switch to Google, I don't endorse them necessarily for any other thing other than the fact that it's a little bit easier to create a profile and an identity within Gmail. But use whatever's familiar with you because that's what you're going to be the most comfortable with. And that is the platform you will already know how to use. So I highly, highly recommend. Actually, I mean, it just seems like no option. You need to open a business email. This is where customers will contact you. And when you get on the LuLaRoe map, this is the email that you will provide for the website. The email needs to be LuLaRoe first name, last name. That is what Home Office has asked us to be compliant and be brand consistent. This will help in making sure as LuLaRoe grows and there's more and more QBs that we are not running into issues where domains are being, well, not domains, but emails are being taken and things like that, or there's confusion between all the different consultants. So LuLaRoe first name, last name. No dots, no anything else in there. If you're going to use LuLaRoe, it has to be LuLaRoe first name, last name. If you have any questions about this, talk to your sponsor about it or anyone in your upline about what your email needs to be and why. It definitely cannot be geographical because obviously as LuLaRoe is growing, it's nobody's specific territory in any cities. I happen to be, as far as I know, the only consultant in my city right now. I hope I can change that and I can bring the LuLaRoe love and have another sister in my own city. But as for now, I couldn't say, Davis, California, LuLaRoe or something like that. So I highly recommend that being one of the very first things you can do and going and getting yourself established within there. A lot of good things that I learned at convention were, especially in your Facebook world, if somebody is having an issue, one of the coaches taught on this, or she could have been a mentor, I'm not sure, that she has them send it in an email right away because an email is a lot easier to track than having somebody message you over Facebook and then it gets lost in Facebook land and there's all these messages and there's been so many more messages and it can get really confusing. So by asking the customer, hey, sorry to hear about your issue, or hey, thank you so much for writing me, please email me at blah, 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 blah with this issue to make sure that I can properly respond in due time. Thank you so much. So the emails are the email account is really important and integral in you having good customer service, which LuLaRoe prides themselves on. And you as a consultant should really, really think about the best customer service that you can provide. The other thing that I personally like about having a business email is it is brand consistent. As well as being a LuLaRoe consultant, you can think about growing your own specific business and your own certain, your own specific identity within the LuLaRoe culture and the LuLaRoe community. So this also goes with Instagram and Twitter and Periscope and all of these other different social media platforms that we utilize or will continue to utilize. I know that some people do lots of different other avenues. I'm trying to think of like Pinterest and things like that, where they're able to be putting out their information through there, not selling, but putting out their information. And this is an opportunity to continue to grow your brand. Once you have that email account, it's yours, it's specific to you, and you will be able to start hashtagging things. So for instance, say somebody does randomly find you on Instagram. I doubt they would not be able to figure out how to send you a message, but if for some reason they didn't, maybe they would see your email up in your description, those kinds of things. And so then they would just write you. I have honestly had random people from Instagram, from just Facebook searching me, hashtags, things like that, able to follow me because they have seen my hashtagging. That's, again, like a whole nother training video to come in the future. This is pertaining to QBs, but you can still start branding yourself and be consistent now. And it starts with your business email. So like I said, LuLaRoe has asked that it is LuLaRoe, first name, last name, if you're going to use LuLaRoe in the title in any way, shape, or form. You're free to not use LuLaRoe and do what you would like, but the hesitation with using anything else but is that you're going to confuse your customers potentially, as well as they might find it hard to get in touch with you, and you may think, oh, the anonymity or whatever is a little bit nice. When you've created your own separate business account, you control what that looks like, and that is different than your personal identity. So you choose which way that you want to go, but I really, don't recommend telling somebody to email you at, lovebythebay@yahoo.com or something like that, or your cat's name, Mr. Sniffles at gmail.com, that kind of thing. I don't think they might get a quick little laugh at it, but it's not memorable. And memorable is something that you want, because when they go to think, oh, you know what, I want a new Cassie skirt. Oh, who did I buy from last time? They're going to remember you if your name is in your email, LuLaRoe Sarah, that kind of thing, with your last name there. They're going to be able to find you, and they're going to be able to recognize you, which is what you definitely want in continuing to grow your business. So that's really all I have for the business email. It's helpful also that if you signed up with a personal email, I tend to keep my personal or my work, meaning from LuLaRoe and home, separate than my business world, which is me as a LuLaRoe consultant selling. So I personally enjoy having my personal email account and all the home office updates and things like that going to my personal account, and then having my LuLaRoe specific to sales, customers, booking pop-ups, those kinds of things. So I personally like that separate. Everybody is different, and maybe you do need to have it condensed in one area, but in this awesome technological world, you can have multiple emails on your phone and things like that and be able to check them all. So get a business email account. You're definitely going to need one. And I'll see you back for the next training video. Bye.